Hello everyone, this is Caroline at Create Your Future. Today I have for you a beautiful success story, a love story that has been going on for several years and it was not looking good. It's been super challenging and everything got switched around 180 degrees and now we have a beautiful love story, a beautiful outcome. So I'm going to talk about it. Before I start, if you guys don't know me, I am Caroline. I am a coach here at Create Your Future. In the box below, you have all the info if you would like to do a one-on-one session with me. You also have the list of the hypnosis, pre-recorded hypnosis bundles. They're all still on sale, 50% off. You have to enter the coupon code SAVE50, okay? SAVE50. About 22 titles, I never remember, 21 titles of affirmation tracks. So these are really good tracks. I'm getting a lot of nice comments on those tracks where people feel that it's really helping them. The way they work, they are each on one topic, right? So you can have either proposal, marriage, health, money, I'm a catch. My specific person moves mountains for me. This year is the best year yet. Oh, and that one, I have been saying it a lot over and over, because the way it works is that I talk and then there's a space for you to repeat. It's very important that you speak the words. Just listening, I don't really like that so much because it's too easy for your mind to go somewhere else. And then, next thing you know, you're thinking about your shopping list and what you need to go get and the laundry or this and that. You're not really listening. I mean, it's playing in the back, but you're not really putting your energy into it. So when you speak the words, you're putting your energy into it. And when you put your energy into it, this is how, we say you manifest, you create your life. What it really is happening is that you are just projecting into your 3D reality as a reflection of what's in your consciousness. But what is in your consciousness has to have some momentum, has to have energy, right? So I'll explain this before we get into anything else. You're going to say, well, there are plenty of things that manifest in my 3D reality where I did not really put any energy into it. Yes, that's true. However, those things, you probably have taken them as already a fact. It's a fact. It's a belief. It's something that you do believe. You may not even be aware that you believe in it, but it is dominantly believed in your mind by you, right? So therefore it has that energy, it has that momentum already. It would be like that chair behind me is white and red. That's it. It's my fact, it's my belief. So I believe I have a round red and white chair. I have projected this, it's in my reality. So it's a accepted, done deal, right? So when you don't like your 3D reality and you want to change it and manifest something that you prefer, in order for it to be manifested, you gotta have a dominant belief on the one topic. And a dominant belief usually can be created with the repetition of affirmations, because I believe it's really there are a group or an affirmation that you have repeated enough time that you now believe it. So when we do play those tracks that like my affirmation tracks or just you can do it on your own. You can record your own voice. and then repeat it after yourself. But the repetition of a certain topic will become eventually a belief. Your subconscious mind will be rewired to the point where it's now, yeah, it's a fact, is what I believe. So you can artificially create it with just coming up with an affirmation and repeating it. So in my tracks, each topic has over 100 affirmations, up to 200 on some tracks, on one topic, different sentences, different way of saying the one same thing. But what happens is that when you repeat, you are now fully into it, because it takes energy, it takes your, you have your conscious mind to say the words, to speak the words. And I am a huge believer in speaking the words to, until you see them manifest and see them being concrete in your 3D reality. I've honestly done this my entire life, and I know when I speak words against what I want, my reality becomes extremely unpleasant. And even that, I take it as a gift, a learning gift. I'm like, well, you know what I'm experiencing right now, it really is painful, frustrating, not fun. But hey, I have no one to blame but myself, because what was I saying yesterday? What words was I speaking? What was I keeping on repeating in a loop in my mind? Well, then that's why I got what I got. So same way for creating what you want. You choose to create sentences. An affirmation is a sentence, right? You write it out, and then you practice it. You speak the words. So sometimes, I'm talking to clients and they say, well, I can say it a few times, 3, 4, 5 times, and then I have a hard time staying on it. I have a hard time speaking those words over and over. I can understand that. So that's why we do create affirmation tracks. So you can either play them on a loop, or at least for maybe 20 minutes, several times a day. Keep on saying them, keep on speaking them, so your mind gets accustomed. As you have to practice. It's like you practice in your mind. You retrain like a muscle, just like you would at the gym, right? The practice will make your muscles shift and become more pumped, if that's what you want, right? So same thing with words, same thing with beliefs. So practice your affirmations, practice speaking the words of what it is that you want to see in your 3D reality. And if you cannot do it on your own, or if you feel like you're too easily distracted, then get the support of an affirmation track, because now the sentence is made for you and you just repeat after. So this, I have a list. You can look into it. You can create your own. My success story, my client did use a couple tracks and that she's repeating, and it's been working. So I'm going to talk about this. But before I do, look in the box below as well for Amanda's amazing free course, how to identify your blocks and overcome anything fast. Very well done. It's free, so get it. Why not? It's wonderful and helpful. And you know what? It's actually, that's the way you change your life. That's the way you consciously create what it is that you want. When you have a hold of your thoughts, you just don't randomly go think whatever and react to the 3D. That's, I was triggered. I just reacted. Then what? Then you let your thoughts loose and you are not focusing on what it is that you want. And now your 3D reality is unfolding exactly the way you did not want to. And it's frustrating. It's annoying. It's painful. I hear it all. I go through it too sometimes. We are still human beings with this brain that tends sometimes to take us where we don't want to go, but We have control over it. We have control over our thoughts. So it's very important to practice choosing words that support what you want. All right, success story. Beautiful client of mine who has been struggling, and I am really emphasizing the word struggling with this relationship for many, many years. They have been in contact most of the time, but it was not a real true relationship. It was not satisfying. Even though here and there they would have some contact, some level of intimacy, it was extremely not satisfying to her. She never felt valued. She never felt chosen. She kind of felt like, well, since I'm here and there's no one else, why not? You know, that's not, you don't want to be this. You want to be the queen. You want to be the chosen one. You want to be cherished. You want to be appreciated. You want to be heard. You want to have an exchange with your partner. You want it to be equal. And it got to the point where she was kind of saving him. She was always helping him. So don't confuse. And that's very important, because I see this very, very, very often, where a person would confuse love with the attention he or she is getting from the other, just because they're helping out, right? So let's say your specific person is in distress, needs attention for whatever reason. It could be financial help, it could be help with an addiction, it could be help with, you know, a health matter or family matter, whatever the situation is. So when you help that person, and now the person is looking back at you and being grateful, now you have an exchange, well, don't settle for this. That's not enough. Yes, you got the attention. Yes, you got the interaction. Yes, you got to spend time with your specific person. But that's not the type of love that you want. That's not, you know, you're being the savior. It's nice gesture, but is it, are you getting, you know, that energy back? Are you getting the love back? Are you getting this attention back? So in the case of my client, the answer was no. She was not getting anything back. Yes, if she needed some type of help, that person would show up, but not even always. But mainly throughout the years, she felt extremely alone and extremely rejected. So I want you to understand the scenario. You know, years and years of this being in contact, being in each other's life, but the quality of the relationship was not one of a blissful, you know, couple in love. It was more like, okay, at least he's in my life, I'm helping him, and he was grateful, so I'm taking this. Well, when you do this, you're accepting crumbs, right? Yes, okay, your specific person was grateful because you did help. Yes, okay, your specific person was grateful because you were there when he was in distress or she was in distress, and you picked up the phone and you helped them through it. But then what? What's next? Well, what was next for her was that in the days to come, in the weeks to come, sometimes even in the months to come, there was no more interactions, or it was very scarce, and she felt completely rejected, completely unappreciated, completely alone, completely not in a loving couple situation, relationship, right? So we've been working, you know, on different aspects of her life. There was, of course, how the specific person was showing up. So we wanted to create someone who was not only in her life because he needed her, or because he needed a favor, or because he needed help. And we did not want someone who shows up today but then disappears for a certain amount of time. So, it was about recreating a person who was in love with her, a person who was taking care of her as well, like an even exchange of energy, love. Somebody who was interested in her, who was interested in what she was going through, who was listening to her, somebody who was willing to share quality time. Let's go do things in the weekend. And she, that was one of the trigger, because he would tell her that he was doing things on the weekends, going and doing outings with other people, and she was not included. So not being included, she felt so rejected again. Why those people had this immense joy, a great opportunity to spend the weekend with him, or go do those outings, but not her. Why did he not think about picking up the phone and inviting her as well? So, there was many aspects of the relationship where she would complain and feel rejected. So we kind of just recreated and wrote down, a list of how she wanted him to show up. But that was not enough. There was how he would show up. Then we made a list on how the relationship looked like. And that was quite interesting, because when she would think of them together, the dominant feeling, the dominant, pop-up picture in her mind, the one thing that would show up was like, well, I'm rejected. All right. So she may want, or she wanted to be in this relationship, but to be completely honest, when I would say, okay, how does the relationship look like? Boom. The spontaneous, that's the word. The spontaneous initial belief is that, well, he's not including me. I'm rejected. We're not a couple. So wanting to be in this couple relationship is one thing, but how do you, relate? You have to artificially create that state of being in a relationship. You have to kind of pretend within yourself. It's like an internal work. You pretend within that, yes, we are in this relationship. So how does it look like? And I would have her describe to me. And you know what? When I have my clients do this, it doesn't come easy at first. So that really shows me that they're really not there yet. They are not what we call embodying the state of the person in a couple. Who they relate to as a person is the one that's alone, lonely, and rejected, not chosen. So it takes practice, discipline to, work on internally within yourself on relating to that new state that you want. So you artificially create that within. Okay, how does it look like to be in the couple, right? Now, we also discussed a lot of things about her, and a lot of the rejection, a lot of the loneliness really had nothing to do with this relationship. It really stemmed from her childhood. And again, we don't have to dig into the childhood, but because she was a steady client and she's a returning client, and we have time to really dig, so we did spend a lot of time, going back there to heal those. And not that she had done this work before, but somehow it's still coming back up, and she still gets triggered. So when the triggers keep on popping up, it's worth taking some time to look at it in order, you face them, and then in order to change them, you have to face them, and then you don't need to dwell on them. You don't need to bathe for years into a therapy of what happened in your childhood. But, take a good look, face them, and then work on changing that state. And you do it also with affirmations, speaking the words. And so she has some of our affirmation tracks that she does repeat, and that's been helpful. So anyways, working on all this, I am getting to the point. She did write to me to inform me that she's spending the night over all the time. He did call her his girlfriend, and they are spending the quality time together, when he's working a lot, but when he's not working, they're spending that free time together on top of spending their nights. She's staying overnight. There were times when, they were cooking together, or he was cooking for her. And yesterday she was all happy because he even bought her an Apple Watch, so that was very meaningful to her, because that's something that he got on his own to make her happy. So now she feels noticed, she feels loved, she feels heard, she feels chosen, she feels valued. Not that, I'm not saying that the Apple Watch is her value, but the fact that he put, thought into getting her something that she wanted, the fact that he went out and got it for her, the fact that he's listening to what she wants, the fact that he basically called her his girlfriend and spending all that quality time. So it's beautiful. But you know what? That particular client, she did struggle. So for all of you who also struggle, and I know a lot of you do, because I have you guys in sessions, and when I hear, well, it's been years, how is this going to be possible that we can turn this around? Well, it is. It doesn't matter whether it's been one night, 1 week, or years. You can turn this around, because it's not about time. It's not about the amount of years that is playing against you. The only thing that's playing against you is right now, in this very moment, what are you choosing to think? So if right now in this very moment you choose to keep on repeating the old story, he rejects me, it's been years, why would he change his mind? Then it's going to continue that way. But if you turn this around right now, regardless if it just happened once or a million times, and say, well, since at every moment I create and everything is a projection from my mind, right now I choose to create that we are in a relationship and he loves me and only me, or she loves me and only me, right? I'm saying he because in this particular success story, specific person was a man, but it applies to anyone. So each moment you choose to focus and speak words or think thoughts that will be projected in your 3D reality. So the weight of the past is not an issue. It's only an issue if you keep on keeping it alive, if you keep that belief alive, and if you keep it, dominantly alive. So if it's really a dominant opposite belief and you want to change that, then yes, it's going to take more time and practice for you to switch it. But it doesn't have to take time. It can happen instantly if you decide, I'm making the choice right now. This is who I am, this is my state, and this is what I'm creating. But if it takes a little bit of time, don't beat yourself down, right? Because it's just like going to the gym. You can sometimes, see results very fast, and other times you have to keep on going to the gym a little longer to see results. So it all depends on where you are, and that's okay. Okay? The point is, it is possible to overturn a situation. It is possible for you to be in that loving relationship with your specific person if that's what you want. And my beautiful client did it, and I'm so happy for her. So I wish you, girl, a lifelong of happiness, because you deserve it. You worked really hard at it. And all of you guys, same thing. Okay, thank you so much. I will see you soon. Bye.